Hey everybody, welcome back to another great episode of What's Up Wednesday, where Emily Como with EXP Realty and Todd Buckman with Standard Mortgage Loan Officer will reveal all the hidden secrets, mysteries, anything that you want to get an answer to on buying a home. As I've said in the past, great opportunity for first-time home buyers, investors, and if this is your fifth time buying a home, no deals alike, just send us questions you've got, and our job here is to basically just lift the veil and, lift the mystery. So, Emily?
Yes, so our last two episodes have been focusing on the first-time home buying process. So we have an extra sweet episode for you guys today since it's Valentine's week.
Gentlemen, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Buy flowers.
Yes, and other things too, not just flowers, okay? Be sweet all the time, but be extra sweet tomorrow.
What she said. Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, so today is phase 3 of the home buying process. So we're going to talk about today after the offer is accepted, what happens. So this is where the meat and potatoes of buying a house actually takes place. So once we've negotiated with the sellers and gone back and forth, and your awesome real estate agent, me, has negotiated the deal of the century for you, then the first step is to have your home inspection. So usually the day that the offer is accepted starts your due diligence period. So the general due diligence period time frame is 7 to 14 days, and you can take that time to do all of your homework on the house. You have your home inspection, get your insurance quotes, get your flood insurance quotes if that's something that you want to do or need to do, things like that. Have your termite inspection. Once you have your home inspection, if anything comes back on the home inspection and you need to get a professional specialist out there, for example, a roofer or an electrician or a plumber or a flooring person, your home inspector is not there they're there to tell you if it's up to code and their opinion, but they can't tell you exactly how much any roof is going to cost or exactly what you should do or exactly how much floor is going to cost. They can give you a guesstimate, but you should really have a professional of that particular industry come out and give you a quote. So you have to take that into consideration during your due diligence period, because if your due diligence period's 10 days and you wait until day 7 to have your home inspection, well, that leaves you 3 days to get a professional out there to give you a quote and decide if you'd like to proceed forward on buying the house or not. So you really should have your home inspection as soon as possible once the contract is accepted. So also, your home inspection cost is going to run about $325 and up. It just depends on the size of the home, if it's 1 story, 2 stories, if it's on a slab, if it's on piers. All of that needs to be taken into consideration. So just remember that you'll have to have this cash up front and pay for your home inspection the day of the inspection. Also, for VA loans, it is required that you have a termite inspection. Your lender will require that. For all other types of loans, I suggest that you get one because we live in South Louisiana. So it's humid and it's moist and termites thrive in that kind of environment. So just to be on the safe side, I suggest that everyone get a termite inspection. Some home inspectors actually offer a free termite inspection with the home inspection. So after your home inspection's complete, you and I will sit down and we will fill out what's called a buyer response to home inspection. So at this point, we put any items that we'd like the seller to remedy, and we don't tell the lender. He doesn't know anything about this, so cover your ears, Todd. You don't want to hear this.
I'm going to earmuff it right here.
None of my deals ever need any remedying, just so you know. But if they did, we would put it down on a buyer's response to home inspection sheet, and I would send it over to the listing agent for he or she to present it to the seller. Once the seller receives our list of items that we'd like them to remedy, they can respond in multiple ways. They can say, I'm only going to remedy A, F, and Q, or they can say, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars, or lower the purchase price by X amount of dollars instead of doing anything. Or they can say, I'll remedy everything you've asked me to. Or they can say, I'm not going to remedy anything. They have 72 hours to respond to us. And once we get that response back from them, the buyer has the final decision on whether or not you guys want to proceed forward toward the act of sale. So let's say that you do want to proceed forward toward the act of sale. Then you need to get with Todd, because you need to get your homeowner's quote and other things like that, and get him all of your documentation for your mortgage. Also, once the contract's accepted, you have 5 to 7 days to get Todd all of the stuff that he requests from you, and give him permission to make a written permission to start your loan process. And then he has to send me a paper in writing saying that you've given him permission to do this. So in other words, the purchase agreement is time sensitive. There's lots of different ongoing things in the purchase agreement, and everything is time sensitive. So just be aware of that when I'm asking you to sign something, or Todd's asking you to sign something, because it's imperative that things get done kind of in a timely fashion. So I'll let Todd take over, and he'll tell you about the mortgage process during this time.
Right, so yeah, no, you're absolutely right. One of the biggest questions that ever comes up during the home buyer process is, why is this dragging on? Why is this taking so long? We should have closed by now. I can't stress enough that during the inspection period, that's my time to get with you and collect all the written documentation that we need. That's going to be 2 years of W-2s, 2 years of taxes, 30 days of pay stubs, and 60 days of bank statements, copy of your driver's license, just to start. So when I'm asking you for that information, at this point, honestly, a lot of the time is really dependent upon the buyer and the seller during the inspection process and the repair process. So, you know, you've got these 7 to 14 days, but if you're thinking, well, I've got 14 days to get this paperwork turned into my lender, you know, you need to think of it as every day I didn't do that is one day we didn't close when the time comes. Same thing on the seller's end. If they're thinking, you know, I've got 10 days to do this anyway, you know, the lender said it's going to be typically 30 days to close. I've got 20 days to make repairs. No, now we're starting at day 20 where we should be at day 1. So every single day, like Emily said, is extremely time sensitive. So on that note, I would offer that, you know, if you know this is the home you want, repairs have been made, you are ready to proceed, and you've spoken with whoever you need to speak to, and the seller's done everything they've got to do, don't think of it as, well, we've got 4 more days, you know, we're getting the house and we'll get everything together in 4 days. That's 4 days that we're losing that we could have put towards closing. So, you know, again, every day counts during this whole process. I know it can be stressful. Call me. I'll walk you through it. As your lender, I'll tell you why we need to hurry. I don't want to rush you or anything, but obviously if you know this is the house for you, then, you know, get your paperwork in and we'll proceed in a timely manner. The other one on that, as far as time goes and the contract goes, so bear in mind that anything you put in that contract, we, as your lenders, we need to get proof has been done. So if you put in that contract, new roof needs to be installed, then we need, not only, we don't just need it to be done, we need a licensed contractor to certify that it's been done. We need to send someone out there to prove that it's been done. So don't get too nitpicky on these things. If it's like, you know, I want the bottom step fixed before we ever move in. If you want it in the contract, fine, but if you know it's something that could probably be fixed relatively easy, let's save some time, put it on the sellers. If they agree to fix it, maybe encourage them to do that. But if it's in the contract, we're going to have to send someone out. We're going to need someone licensed to fix that bottom step, things of that nature. So just bear that in mind. Anything that goes in the contract, we will need proof on.
Sure.
During this time, though, once I get that inspection back, next step for us, we've collected paperwork. Inspection's back. I get the okay from Emily to proceed. We're going to order appraisal, and we're going to order title.
And we don't do that before the inspection period typically, just because if anything goes wrong during the inspection period for the buyer, or there could be unforeseen things, like the buyer, you could lose your job, or, I mean, this is like worst case scenario, but like, what if you do have a home inspection and then there's just too many things to remedy and you don't want to proceed forward? Well, if we've already ordered appraisal and title, then you as the buyer are responsible for paying those fees. So we like to wait until the home inspection is completed and you're certain that you want to proceed forward before we order title and appraisal, which is another reason why it's so important to do the inspection as soon as possible, so that we can go ahead and order the appraisal, because there's so many people that have to work together in this process.
Absolutely.
You're always waiting on someone to complete something and get it back to you. So the quicker that you take care of your side of things, the quicker I can take care of my side of things, and Todd can take care of his side of things, and everyone else can work together. And I forgot to mention earlier that once the contract's accepted, I will need to get your earnest money from you. Your earnest money is your deposit. So it's a good faith deposit to the seller.
If it's in the contract, to get the earnest money.
If it's in the contract.
Right.
So usually it's typically $500 or $1,000. If it's new construction, it'll be more than that. It'll be about 1% of the sales price typically. So So just keep that in mind, that you're going to have some expenses up front whenever you're buying a house, even if you're getting 100% financing, VA or rural development, or you're doing a grant program. You're still going to have to come out of pocket for your earnest money, if that's in the contract, $500, $1,000, whatever that is, plus your home inspection, which is about $325 or up, and also your appraisal fee, which is about, what, $425?
VA is typically $500.
Yeah.
And usually gets around $375, $475, give or take.
So just bear that in mind, that you will have a few expenses up front, and that doesn't include your closing costs.
Right, and I can't stress enough, I want to point this out to everyone because I get this a lot. An appraisal is different from an inspection, all right? I want to make that very clear. So to break it down, an inspection is what you're going to do up front with your realtor, to have someone come in and look at the home and see if anything needs to be done. Once I receive that back, I'm going to order the appraisal, okay? That's...
To verify that the purchase price...
Right, we're looking at value on that, basically. We're going to make sure that everything is, in a move-in condition, and that the value is what you're offering on that contract.
And I'm glad that you mentioned appraisal, because if the appraisal does not come back, if it's lower than what the buyer and the seller have agreed upon in the contract, the lender will not give you the money. They will only give you the amount that it appraised for. So if it appraised for $10,000 less than your contract price, you're gonna have to renegotiate. So
or you could pay that $10 out of pocket.
$10,000.
Right. Yeah. Thank
$10.
You.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I might front you the 10. I will not do that.
He won't. Trust me.
I will not. No,
So
I can't. No,
yes.
Sorry.
So keep in mind, we negotiate the contract up front. We negotiate and we come to an agreement, but then the home inspection, that's another negotiating point. Then the appraisal, that's another negotiating point. So there's several points throughout this process that you can renegotiate with the seller on the contract.
Yep.
Yes.
Contract's done, inspection's in, I order appraisal and title to make sure the value is proper, and then a title attorney will do a title search to make sure there's no hidden in-laws, a past relative, a ghost out there that's got their name on title, and that we are clear to close. I've seen it. Not the ghost. I haven't seen any ghosts. No.
No, I know.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for today.
Local shout out, if I may.
Yes, you
to
may.
Local company, Peridian Engineering Services. They're here to handle all your engineering services in the Lake Charles and Sulphur area. So shout out to Peridian.
Nathan.
That's right, that's right. And as always, we want to thank Good Barrel Media for assisting in this wonderful show. So thanks a lot, Good Barrel.
Yes. So that concludes our episode today. Happy early Valentine's Day.
Tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Don't forget, guys. Do not forget. You will be in the doghouse. Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye. God, you ruined it.
No, I didn't.
You're supposed to say we have a sweet episode for you this week.
It's just like Valentine's Day. It really is.
We have a sweet episode for you guys today.
We do, and happy Valentine's Eve. to everyone out there.
No, it's Valentine's Eve. Let's start over
Gentlemen.
again. Hey guys, welcome. We need to get on the same page.
Make sure you know Valentine's Day is coming up on Thursday, February 14th.
Tomorrow.
Get flat. Today's Tuesday.
No.
The 12th.
OMG.
Today's Tuesday,
Our
the 12th.
episode is called What's Up Wednesday. It will
Well,
air
it's
on
Wednesday the
Wednesday.
13th. Good job, everybody.
Oh.
Chris, I can't work like this.
You're stressing me out.